Good morning my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I brought you into the grow room. Now I've just had this bark delivered, and there you are. It's a firm that supply, well, they're in the Isle of Wight, England, and apparently they have an orchard over in Portugal. Now this piece here, now these that I'm showing you, I think it's free delivery anyway for England, and I think these were just under £15. So that one actually, this one here, stands up. Marvellous. And these here, these came as a offcuts, if you like. That one here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I mean, I could still put a base on it and put something in it. Though that one there is a nice little size, this one. See, it's got a little bit of webbing at the back, so I shall just brush that off. But it's got lichen on, and this is a nice one as well. Look at this one. That's got lichen on, and this one here, that's a nice shaped one. And then we have this one, which I couldn't believe my eyes, and I thought to myself, that's got moss on, and it looked like live moss. So I've watered that, and look, it is live moss. Now come on, focus. Sorry about that. There, live moss. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with that. Anyway, I'm digressing now. So let's go over here. Oh dear. I've been watching Stephen Van Kempen-Lewis. He's the chappie from Texas, and he's a probationary AOS judge, and he grows fantastic nobiliors, Walkerianas, Catasetums, and he was showing on his video, his recent video, a nobilior, and I thought, ooh. So I go on my favourite site, can't help myself. So then I decided to look at this one. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look for you if I can find it. It's not going to show you the exact one, but that's the type of bloom there. Okay, and so I thought I'll just write that down. Now bear with me again. And then I thought, oh dear, now I'm going to have something that takes the delivery price up, so that I can get the two with the delivery for 50. Well, I've slightly gone over, and I think it's €52. But I've asked Keith to get me this one, but then I've just interrupted him and said, well, there is a twinkle actually, so I don't know. But isn't that a nice Masdevallia? It's quite chuffed with that. This is me, like Roger says, this is me not buying orchids, and I think it's just something that we can't help ourselves with. We just, with seeing M.E.s Masdevallias, I'm going to get up now. So M.E.s Masdevallias, and I watched his video last night, and he has some lovely Masdevallias. He's got Draculas. He's actually got quite a few different genera now, and I don't know, it's just that time of the year when I start to think, oh, I'll just go through some of the sites and see what's on offer. Anyway, so I've had to speak very nicely to Keith today. Not that I don't speak nice to him, but anyway, right. So let me just show you around now, and I'll take you to this bloom here. Can you see that bloom? Now, I'm on my tablet, so that means I could be a little bit wobbly. So let's see if it'll focus in now properly. There. Can you see that? The detail and the colour. And all these buds are open now. Oh, it is so nice. Let me just turn it round. There. And these little sepals here. I've got little white tips. And I think the petals have as well, but isn't that unique? Absolutely thrilled to bits with that reblooming. So I've got 3 open and this one's just cracking open now. And so what else have I been doing? Let's just show you that new leaf there. Oh, look at that. I can't believe that. And this is the Bulbophyllum lobbii. And I mounted this, didn't I? And I can't believe it. So hopefully it's on this piece of wood, and I will get it through this winter and we'll take it from there. But that back leaf's going a bit, but I tell you, some of my orchids have taken such abuse, you can't believe it. Now let's just go in this corner here. That's the one. That's the Gonza Lecco. That's bare rooted, so I just water that daily. This is the Holcoblossom subdiflorum, and that's the little one. That's Wangi, but this is the subdiflorum one, and this one I water daily because it's bare rooted now. It's ready to be watered. But can you see how those leaves were affected by that scale? So we'll just have to live with that. Now that, of course, is the Dendrobium pendulum, and that leaf, let me see where the middle one was started to rot back a bit, and those 2 other petals, leaves, sorry, have been affected. So I think the only thing I can think of that's caused that is when I've been watering, and when I've been watering, the spray's gone on that new leaf, that new growth. But the rest of it, I mean, as you can see, and this is one I've done yesterday. You'll see. They're the roots, and that's the Dendrobium polyanthum, Cinnamon primulinum. And you see the small canes there, but they're still viable, so I've not removed them. And I've taken a lot of sphagnum moss off, just put a little tiny bit on there. The reason being, we're in our autumn now. I don't think we'll ever get those warm days of summer back. And during the night, I mean, as we go from autumn to winter, I mean, our temperatures can drop like a stone. That's the Orchids falcata. I've removed some of the sphagnum moss from there, can you see? So these cannot stay cold and wet during the night. because I would lose them. And there's that luteifolium, that one, the little boy, on the little boy mount, and I knocked one of those little growths off. I could have kicked myself. And that is the Staphylogloss behind. This is the Angraecum, sesquipedale, giving me another leaf. And, that's doing really nicely. And that's one of the other chrysotoxins. Actually, oh, there's the other one. Still in the window, and I believe I might be getting some root development. So I'll take you around here now. These are the Vandas. That's the one. This one here. What's this one called? Oh, there we go. Cultana Gold by Dr. Anek. That's the one with the flower coming. I think it's on the other side. That's the one that's got just a little bit of bark in. This is the other one, Adisac Happiness, and that's just completely bare rooted. So these were plunged into feed and water yesterday, and I've managed to use these salad trays to sit them in afterwards. And this is the other one that's still in sphagnum moss. And what's this one called? The label's upside down. Will I be able to read it or even turn it round? Cultana Gold by Robert's Delight. And that seems to be doing very nicely as well. So I'm going to step down that. And this one here is let me have a look for you. I think this is Vanda Peaches. Oh no, this is Baby Angel. That's been fed and watered. And the one behind is Neophonetia Shootano. There we go. So we've got a Pathiopedilum there. That's Colophokingii. That new leaf developing. That one in that corner, of course, the one that's flowered for me this year. And what did we call that one? Can't remember now. I think it's in the Maxillaria family now. And this is my, I like this one. This is my Sergio Aria Yucasuco story. Got nice roots. That's just a little no ID dendrobium, and that one there, of course, is the Phalaenopsis, which had crown rot, and I've got a it's not a cakey. What do they call that one now? Where it's a clone. So that's got a clone right there. This is the Dendrobium Adae, and I've seen, I don't know whether I'll be able to show it there. See if I can hold it straight for a minute. Can you see? That's the first of the telltale signs that this one is now going to accept this mount. Look at the leaves. There's only one good thing, those leaves will fall off eventually. And, oh dear. I tell you, some of my plants have really suffered a lot of neglect on my part. Now I'm going to try and just hold this up, if you don't mind, while I bring my stepping stool, because if I don't have my stepping stool these days. There we go. And this one. Super excited with this one. Look at that. Look at the leaf. And this is the Miltonia. Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Got the label somewhere. There we go. Multasia Royal Robe. So we've got that nice big growth there. You see? That's that new growth. And we've got this new growth here. So at last you can see the older leaves. This was badly affected last year with the spider mite. There's the Scaphoglottis there. And this one here, I love this one, with this huge, humongous leaf. And that's my Procatavolia Jarak Green Star. So, we're alright to move along. And then these are some of the Hoyas. And these are now showing signs of accepting my environment. This one here, got a new leaf there. And that one over there, that big tall one, has already given me a new leaf. So these are well on the road to being plants that will, Hoyas that will give me peduncles, because I think they already have. And this one here, can you see this one here? Where are we? This one, see? A new leaf. Right, I can come off my stool now. And this is my mini shelf, as I call it. That's a Stellis. That's one of the Dendrobium crumentum little cakeys that I've grown on. And this is the Masdevallia, the one that came for €9.50. Look at that. New, I think it's a new growth behind. Might be a new flower inflorescence. And this is long striped yellow. This is the one that actually bloomed, and that's got three new growths there. Look at the dust, I tell you. And this is a swap that I'm going to swap with Rock Doc. And he's going to bring me a berry odour. But there's another one of the Masdevallias. Just take that dead leaf off. And that's the other part. So that came in 4. Broke off into 4, so there are 4 decent divisions now. And that's the little Tolumnia there. See how that's growing nicely? That's the species one. I think that's Sadens or Sadens, or a little no ID behind. Dendrobium. That's my little Stardust. Dendrobium Stardust. Firebird star. Is it Firebird? Yes. And another little Crumentum. And this one here is my other Pathiopedilum, and this is Pathiopedilum Rothschildianum Giant Wings by Titanic. And that one, I have just got it planted in lava rock and growstones, and I treat that like I do a mount. So it's watered and it just flushes through. So the little ones, that's another no ID one there. And we go down to this one. That's the Phaeus Tankenvillia. Can't tell you the new roots that's put out. You remember I drop potted it into another one, and it's coming along fine. Now these are some of the Kingianums. Again, these were very badly abused, but new growths, and these will have to have a cool winter rest. Now this one here, this is the mother plant of the Dendrobium crumentum. Can how big it grows. That's why I have it going round to accommodate it. It's one of those, I suppose if you mounted it, you could hang it from the ceiling and it would reach the floor. And Phalaenopsis there. I'm not doing more with this one. My tubiolabium. Oh, my leaves are falling off. This is a little no ID Phalaenopsis I've got in this little square pot, which I may now put onto one of those pieces of bark. Let's go down. That's one of the Kingianums, doing very nicely. That's King Zip Red Splash. And that's, if I go down on my knee here, that's one of the Dendrobium Allens, a new growth there. And that's another one of my Hoya species. That's growing on very nicely. And down here, this is the one, unfortunately, this is the one that had that crown rot. And you see, and it's still not over it yet. The roots are fine, so I just have to give it time, but it's still rotting, which is a bit of a disappointment. So while I'm down on my hands and knees, we'll go to the bottom shelf. And what's all that on that? Sometimes you just get like a chlorosis or whatever you call it on the leaves. Now whether it's water dropping on it from above, and you see, to me it just looks as though it is water, but it's had fertiliser in it, which is a bit disappointing, but it's happy enough in that big long container. And that just sits on this bottom shelf here, she says as she tips it over. That's the only thing. Look at that now. I'm always doing this. You should hear me sometimes. I'm cursing away and keep thinking, what the hell's she done again now? And that's because I'm clumsy. Now you wouldn't think, but that's good, you see, that was watered and there's not an awful lot of damp bark. So that's doing very nicely. I'll pick that up after. The sun's come out now and I'm getting all hot and bothered. So Phalaenopsis, all on the bottom shelf, all doing very nice, all fed and watered. This is one of the Phragmipediums, this one here, showing you now, and that's Olafgarus. That's the one that had that rot in the middle. And let's have a look, turn it round. And it's got the 2 new growths now. So hopefully that'll be fine. There's another big Phalaenopsis in active growth. I think most of these are, and that's my little Coelogeny, and that new growth's coming along fine. So don't ask me why. Everything seems to be okay. I think one of the reasons is, muffing and puffing like an old Billy, is my understanding now of the orchid requirements. Now if you look in here, I'm down to 79% and it was over 80%. And so it's good humidity, good airflow, and giving the actual orchids what they actually need. Now you see this one here, can you see? The end's gone. Now that's another thing I do, and I could kick myself. I pick the pot up and don't look where I'm picking it up, and my big fat fingers breaks the the growing tip. Anyway, so this one here, that is my catasetum, pileatum or pileatum. So what I've done with this one is I've used some of that hormone rooting powder and placed it in a little bit of sphagnum moss and just sat on some lava rock, and there's a little reservoir of water at the bottom, so it gets a little bit of humidity, and it's sat on this south-facing shelf here. Right in front of the window. There's my big Fred Clarkiara, Black Pearl I think mine's called, and that gets complete hot sunshine through those windows most of the day. And of course you've seen that one, which is the chrysotoxin, doing very nice. And these are the ones, that's the Laelia purpurata, that's another one. I've see it'll come out, I have to be careful. You see, I've removed some of the sphagnum moss and actually replaced it with a little bit of new moss. So I'll put that back up there. That's the Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. This one here, now this is the there we go. This is the Rubson's Laelia. Now I have to rest it on my arm because it's quite heavy. And I've got a sheath forming down there, and I've got a sheath forming in there. But what I've recently had to do with this one is wire it on. That's another thing I've understood this year, is I will use fishing line because it has a purpose, but you've got to be careful with your roots. So this one I've managed to wire on with this green wire. And they do need to feel secure. That's most important. There's no moss on that. So let's bring you this one. See if I can bring this one down for you. She says, as she drops them. I'm always doing that. Let's put it on here. Ah. See, when you've got them hung up, you know, on these little clips as I have them, sometimes you pull them down and they slip out of your hands. Now this is the Laelia lobata, and that was the root that went through that little cavity there and has come out the bottom, and that one had a little bit of some kind of bark covering it, and I caught that, but the roots carried on, it's fine. And this one's doing really nice now. So put that one there so I don't knock it over again. And this is the Sidendenphinia matrata. And look there. Oh, look at that. 2 new roots now. So, oh, 3! So I've got 3 new roots. So that'll come on leaps and bounds now. Leaps and bounds, dead chuff with that. That's the other Cattleya. I think this is Cattleya, which is this one? One's Rosea, And that, you see there, that is the new growth. And of course this is that big, it's a little bit of light. This is that big dendrobium I'm showing you now, and that's the extent of that new growth. So there we go. There's the Phalaenopsis, which looks nice just there, tucked away. I've had to bring the Wincolalia gigantica peach here. I'm going to be dropping a leaf. It's only got the one root. It's going to be my job's worth to go out through this winter. So I just have to keep my fingers crossed. But otherwise, this one wants watering because it's got a few wrinkles in the leaves, and that's my Dendrobium Gatton Sunday. Let's get a bit more light in this corner. So there we go. And look at the new growth there on that LC Bermondsey palm. So that's fine there. And that's the so this is the Dera japonica, is it? Is that other one? I'm always forgetting it. I don't know, you see that's got a few marks on the leaves. Even I forgot to put my label back in there. I'm going to have to search for that. And there it is, it's long inflorescence, and now when it focuses, oh, go darker. So these got fed and watered yesterday, and all this area, you see them, they're all still wet. There we go. That's, you'll see the vapour coming up. That's that will bring the humidity up for me. And this one, I am so thrilled with this one. Look at that. And this is my Phalaenopsis. Now what's it called? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Chia E. Yinlin, as if I should forget that. But you see, if you have a look now, see last week, these